You're watching ONN, Ohio's channel, online at onntv.com.
Thanks for joining us. 16 years ago from this studio, ONN began its unique journey as the state's first and only 24-hour news channel.
And today, that journey comes to a close. Thanks so much for tuning in for this farewell, and thank you, ONN Special. I'm Erica Robbins.
It's great to be with you. I'm Mike Kohlmeyer. Thanks for joining us. This is our final broadcast here at the Ohio News Network, and as we prepare to say goodbye, we want to take one last look back. It's our way of saying thanks to you, our viewers, for watching.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough because it all started with a simple vision: one state, one people, one channel.
Our mission is to bring you statewide news coverage in ways that no other service could handle and at times no other service could schedule.
ONN began in August of 1996 as Ohio's first and only regional cable news channel.
We were actually underway with a 1-hour nightly newscast that ran on then Insight cable.
There were only a dozen employees at the start, but as the staff quickly grew, so did the amount of live programming.
Good Tuesday morning, and thanks for joining us on this February 3rd. You're watching Ohio This Morning. I'm Deborah Knapp.
Then on May 1st, 1997, ONN launched on TCI Cable in Newark and Marion.
We had some 48,000 24/7 cable subscribers, and we proudly called ourselves the Ohio News Network.
ONN, all Ohio, all the time.
ONN offered unique, original programming, including in-depth and comprehensive State House coverage. Programs like On the Square, On the Hill, and Ohio's Talking gave viewers the opportunity to hear directly from state and local leaders, and even share their opinions on the top issues of the day.
It's a special Ohio Sports Insider. It's all Ohio college football, and it's only on ONN.
ONN also began covering the Buckeye State's vast array of sports, from the pros to the up-and-coming athletes, with the Ohio Sports Insider. Coverage later expanded into nightly newscasts. And then in 1999, the Ohio News Network became the first channel to carry the state high school football and basketball championships live. More specialty programs and full game coverage followed, including High School Sports Site, Ohio State's Spring Game, Crew Extra, Buckeye Blitz, and wall-to-wall sports prime time.
In 1999, ONN made the commitment to deliver Ohio's most complete and accurate weather 24 hours a day.
ONN was also the first to provide Ohioans with 24-hour statewide weather coverage, keeping viewers ahead of the storm. Forecasts were eventually delivered every 10 minutes on the 10s. Through the years, the Ohio News Network launched in more communities across the state.
We do want to take a moment to welcome our new viewers to the Ohio News Network in Minster, New Bremen, and Fort Loramie, Ohio.
Plus, we get the latest from our own news bureaus in Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, and Washington, D.C.
And continued to add more original programming.
Hi, I'm Chef Tammy. Today we're happy to have some members of the crew with us today. Yay!
Hello and welcome to another edition of Discover Ohio. I'm Makia Cameron.
Welcome back to Explore the Wilds. There's so much to do here at the Columbus Zoo Safari Park.
Wow, OMG, it is hard to believe that we have reached the end of another school year. This is our championship matchup.
Eventually, the Ohio News Network reached 1.7 million cable subscribers, truly becoming Ohio's channel.
This is ONN, Ohio's 24-hour news channel.
We certainly packed a lot in a relatively short amount of time. It's hard to believe.
I know, I don't mean to date us, but we have 25 years between us, right? 12 years here and 13 years right there.
Thanks for reminding me. Great.
But we remember all of that.
Yeah, I think I did all that.
I know.
Weather, sports, news.
Yeah, we've been through so much. It's been incredible. Of all the stories that we've covered, politics and weather included some of the biggest news events.
Yeah, from the presidential elections to destructive storms hitting our Buckeye State, ONN has brought continuous and relentless coverage of the events that impact your life.
Republicans have gathered in Tampa this week for their national convention. ONN is there just like we were in 2000.
ONN political correspondent Jason Mock joins us live now from Philadelphia. Jason?
The Ohio News Network covered 4 presidential elections, 3 different administrations, and one election night that was
too close to call. The headline in the Columbus Dispatch, in fact, it may be too close to call for the next 10 days, week to 10 days, because of the situation in Florida.
ONN helped set the agenda for what the issues were in the state of Ohio, from school funding to the state budget and the fight over Senate Bill 5.
Politicians come on the square.
Early on, politicians debated on the square and on the Hill.
But when you're talking to ONN, you sort of, maybe you even think in your own mind almost in an intuitive way that I'm talking to rural, urban, and suburban, and I'm talking to people all over the state.
Years later, it was Capitol Square that brought state and national newsmakers to the table, including 3 Ohio governors.
We made a lot of hard choices and decisions at the state level. A lot of them they don't want to make at the local level. Let me go in and run their budgets.
ONN was there when Governors Bob Taft, Ted Strickland, and John Kasich took their oaths of office.
Beam me up, Mr. Speaker.
We also reported on controversies and scandals, watching even some of the most colorful lawmakers fall from grace.
Trees are really blowing.
Like politics, Ohio's weather can be brutal and relentless. Through the years, the Ohio News Network provided comprehensive coverage of several historic storms.
Recent storms hit Ohio hard, and when the water started to rise around our state, the Ohio News Network was there. We were on the scene with live coverage from Marietta to Grove City. We kept Ohioans informed about the effects of this disaster.
Officials have confirmed reports of at least 1 tornado touching down near Cincinnati early this morning. Here's a look at the damage in the northeast suburb of Montgomery. Police say 20 to 25 homes have been destroyed. There's also heavy damage in Sharonville and Blue Ash.
A line of storms that churned up one twister after another. It hit Van Wert County first.
This movie theater was filled with children watching Santa Claus 2 before 270-mile-per-hour winds threw those cars into the auditorium and tore the roof off the place.
ONN covered storms in all seasons.
In Grandview, the blizzard of 2008 brought out only one thing, the most adventurous of souls. With shovels in hand and bravery down to their boots, they came. And they went.
And ONN's weather team spent countless hours on the air with wall-to-wall coverage of the big storms.
Again, if you look in the distance, you can see the power. Look at that.
There we go.
Yeah, the power just flickering in the distance as very, very strong winds are coming into Columbus right now.
So whether it was a thunderstorm or a political storm, the Ohio News Network was always there.
All Ohio.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fun doing it. Lots of great people helped get people through those severe situations. Amazing.
People just like this. Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell and crew join us now. Eric, I have to say that how many hours have we spent covering tornado warnings and whatnot, and I have just been sitting here over the years in awe of your guys' ability to go on and on and on and inform Ohioans about severe weather.
You know, it has been a challenge, that's for sure, covering statewide weather, 88 counties, and of course I wanted to take time to thank the staff that I have here for everything that they've done. Of course, Erin got here actually before I did. May remember her. She was a bureau chief. She actually started here as an editor. She was here before I was. Emily Bream's been with us. Talk about dedication. She would drive in from Lima, Wapakoneta, to cover shifts here, and just loved her dedication to weather, and that's how dedicated she was to drive in. Of course, Harrison Ho's been my right-hand man. He's done it all. Green, Ohio. He's covered all kinds of shifts. You see him in the morning, the afternoon, and just about anywhere outside we would send him. And Dante Jones started out as an intern here and eventually just had such a dedication that we wanted to put him on the air. And of course, I want to take time to thank everyone in the back who would always jump in. Anytime we'd have a tornado warning, our producers, our directors would get us on the air as soon as possible. And Erica Robbins, she was my first meteorologist I ever hired.
That's right.
Yeah.
So glad to have you.
That group right there that we saw is a very important group.
Yeah.
They did their weather coverage better than anybody that I've ever seen. When we had a tornado warning, we were on the air every single minute of every single tornado warning.
Yeah, 88 counties. That's a lot to cover, and we go through the whole line of storms, and yes, it takes an amazing staff to do it. So an incredible staff that I was proud to be a part of, that's for sure.
And thank thank you guys. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
For sure. Now, from high schools to college to professional teams, ONN has always been Ohio's channel for sports, too.
That's right. Coming up, a look back at how Ohio athletics were a major part of our world and yours.
Millions of women.
Joining us, everyone. We are so glad you're here. The Ohio News Network is signing off today after 16 years of covering this great state. And during those years, ONN has covered the Buckeye State's vast array of sports, from the pros to the up-and-coming athletes, from the new franchises to the ones steeped in history.
An entire state. Yeah, tonight we take a look back at the most memorable sports stories.
In 1999, ONN gave Ohio its high school sports championship games live.
It was at those state championships that we watched an NBA star be born.
And one of my fondest memories is before LeBron James became the king, he was playing his freshman high school basketball state championship game right here on ONN.
I'm here to tell you all guys that I'm foregoing college and I will be entering the NBA draft in June.
Destiny put LeBron in Cleveland first until that decision.
And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
But all was not lost for Cleveland sports fans.
Say hello to the 1999 Cleveland Browns. What an exciting moment here up on the lake.
In Cincinnati, the Bengals and Reds moved into their new digs on the riverfront. The capital city scored an NHL franchise and netted a Major League Soccer team, too. And Ohio State had the Jim Tressel era.
I assure you, you'll be proud of our young people in the classroom, in the community, and most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And in 2 short years, Coach Tressel led the team to its first national championship in more than 3 decades. He became one of the most successful college football coaches in history. But controversy involving players, memorabilia, and tattoos ended his career at Ohio State after 10 seasons. And so a new era begins with another familiar face to Buckeye Nation.
Football is really, really important in the state of Ohio. So Cleveland, Ohio, Columbus, Cincinnati, this is as good a football as there is in America.
From college to pro, and even Ohio's up-and-coming athletes, ONN has covered it all.
Unbelievable. Maybe a little more fun than weather, but it's much the same challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
State.
What a couple of years there.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone that ever worked on that sports staff. They put more mileage on those vehicles than anybody. They were all over the place.
Right.
It was really amazing to see.
Lots of long hours, and the games would be over. The stands would clear out, and they'd still be putting a show on the air for us. So fabulous stuff that we produce out of this station.
Amazing sports coverage. Well, coming up, we take a look at some familiar faces over the year, and we'll tell you where they are now.
And we also have our most memorable stories, and of course, we have a final goodbye.
Burning log. It's like an old family friend, isn't it? It took us through so many holiday seasons, allowed a lot of people to be off. That's something that started in New York many years ago, but we did it here for a number of years, and it was really popular, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. A lot of people were watching that.
Yeah, and it had its own Facebook page, and it did allow us to spend time with our family and friends during the holiday, and people got to use it during their holiday celebrations, so we were still part of those. So it was a win-win for everyone, but it was quite popular, that's for sure.
Yeah, gave everybody that that holiday season off, at least Christmas Eve and Christmas. It was thank you log.
Yeah, thank you log. Burning log. Awesome. Well, through the years, you have also trusted our team of anchors and fabulous reporters to deliver news, weather, and sports from around the state. And while the faces may have changed, the dedication certainly has not.
Yeah, so let's hear from some former ONNers, as we call them, and find out where they are now.
Good Tuesday morning, and thanks for joining us on this February 3rd. You're watching Ohio This Morning. I'm Deborah Knapp.
Deborah Knapp helped Ohioans get their day started as ONN's first morning show anchor. But her first role here was not on the air.
She was a producer, and I said, Deb, I think you ought to be on TV. I said, I think you're I think you have the look. I think you have the personality.
Deborah delivered the state's top stories from the desk and covered major events out in the field.
This is a story that you saw a lot of reporters with smiles on their faces, a lot of photographers with smiles on their faces.
Deb left ONN and headed out west to Oregon, her home. She remains on the anchor desk there, reporting for station KATU in Portland.
I realize, though, what a unique and incredible and special opportunity I had at the Ohio News Network. Not many people have that chance to help start a network, and we were given that task, and we loved it.
I started in December of 1998, and for me, it was a sportscaster's dream.
Douglas Sells came to ONN to help launch the channel's extensive high school sports coverage.
We're doing highlights of 32 games, a half-hour show from all over the state. We're getting video while I'm on the air. I'm getting notes handed to me, shot sheets on a napkin, and it was a blast.
Dan Franzak joined soon after, reporting on games all over the state.
The show would start at 11:30, and we'd be there till midnight. And a lot of times the school would shut down, everybody else would leave, but we'd still be on the field and we'd still be in the gymnasium.
Both left the TV business and are now running their own companies.
The people who came together at the Ohio News Network believed in the concept, dedicated themselves to it, succeeded, and had a lot of fun in the process.
Former ONN General Manager John Butte is now practitioner in residence at Kent State University, teaching the next generation of journalists.
Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm John Fortney. The U.S. has begun military strikes against Afghanistan.
And we could never forget John Fortney. Not only was he ONN's first primetime anchor, he also hosted programs like Ohio's Talking and Capitol Square. John has also returned to his roots. He's now the news director and main anchor at WTAP in Parkersburg, West Virginia, which also covers Southeast Ohio. John says he'll always hold on to the memories from the network.
We believed in ourselves, we learned quickly, and we learned to rely on each other. But we certainly made our mark. We made a difference in how we brought the entire state of Ohio to news.
It's been unbelievable. You can see the family behind us. It really is a family. We want to say goodbye now before we share with you some very memorable stories from the past 16 years. I just want a couple of personal things. He's been like my brother for 12 years, yes, Eric.
Thank you, Mike.
And then this one here has been with me for, for a number of years. We've seen weddings, and we've seen kids grow up, and everyone behind us is not just who you see here, but everybody behind us. And the people back in the booth right now, Jeremy Naylor's our producer for this. That's appropriate.
Yes.
He's telling us to wrap pretty soon, but Melissa Newhart is in the chair. I just want to mention some producers. They have the toughest job in television. Kathy, Ashley, Samantha, Judy, Jeff, and Amy. The directors, Joe, Dave, Paulie, Heffy, JD, we love you, Valerie, Mallory, in editing, Billy G, D. Lee, and Theo. We got names for everybody here. In sales, Holly, Doug, and Brenda. Everyone has been awesome. It's a bittersweet. I want to mention our news director, Greg Fisher. He's the very first employee at ONN. He is the most dedicated soul you will ever come across. So thank you, Greg. You have you certainly have a lot of class, and everybody here has a lot of class. These are some of the most witty, compelling, humorous, intelligent people that I've ever come across. It made it easy for us.
It sure did. It was a tough month for us, but we stuck it out, and we had a great time in the years that we have all covered. So again, we say thank you, and we are very happy that we could entertain you and make everything important that you needed to know right into your home. So again, thanks so much.
And ultimately, it wasn't about us. It was about you, and that's why we did this for 16 years. So let's take a look back at the most memorable stories from ONN.
As you can see behind me, there are over 100,000 people who are transfixed to 2 television monitors here in Hyde Park. They all came to watch the procession of Princess Diana's coffin.
Now be sure to stay with ONN for continuing coverage of the impeachment trial of the president.
A minor court victory today for the son of Dr. Sam Shepard.
A ceremony involving family, friends, faculty members, and some of the students here at Kent State University.
Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery with a crew of 6 astronaut heroes and 1 American legend.
Ohioan John Glenn is now the oldest person ever in space, and ONN's Deborah Knapp saw this spectacular sight up close and personal.
This is a story that you saw a lot of reporters with smiles on their faces, a lot of photographers with smiles on their faces. So it was exhilarating.
Plus, for the next few hours, we'll monitor the state and the country for any Y2K problems.
To be honest with you, the Y2K bug took a vacation.
Ohioans, friends, lawmakers, and families say goodbye to former Governor James Rhodes, who died Sunday at age 91. Governor Rhodes' body lies in state at the Ohio State House. This is crazy. This is really crazy.
Officer Roach fired one shot which struck Mr. Thomas in the left side of his chest.
Just before 9 o'clock, and John, I'll tell you, we started doing the coverage of the first plane crashing into the World Trade Center, and then literally right before our eyes, we saw the second plane crash into the second tower.
To the families of the victims, we cannot adequately express our sympathy for your loss, nor can we fully appreciate the depth of your grief.
The U.S. has begun military strikes against Afghanistan. The Taliban government there. Witnesses saying thunderous explosions and the rattle of anti-aircraft fire could be heard in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Heavy detonations and anti-aircraft fire heard in Baghdad, and you can see there from the images on your screen that there are some flashes in the sky.
We have breaking news to tell you about this morning. An Iraqi official says Saddam Hussein has been captured in his hometown of Tikrit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ohio stands guard with John Fortney reporting from the Gulf Coast.
We're here to get the job done, so I am very proud of this unit.
As far as I'm concerned, it's one of the most important missions I have ever been on.
This is why I joined, and just to help people.
1,500 Ohio National Guardsmen called to bring relief to a devastated Gulf Coast from Ohio. This is Hurricane Katrina. Ohio stands guard.
It's like not just a nightmare, it's like Noah's Ark, like wrecking right here in Zanesville, Ohio.
A chaotic scene in Muskingum County when nearly 60 exotic and dangerous animals are set free. Deputies move in to hunt unusual suspects, bears, tigers, and lions.
I gave the order on the way here that if animals looked like they were going out, they went down.
This is Campaign 2010, the gubernatorial debate.
Governor, we've lost 382,000 jobs on your watch.
We have the 6th fastest growing state economy in the nation.
Did either man hurt or help himself tonight?
111,000 vote lead for John Kasich. The question becomes, where are the votes left? And if there just aren't enough of them to catch up, it can't be done. The Associated Press has called it. John Kasich is the governor-elect of the state of Ohio.
Thank you all very much. God bless you. And we will see you soon. Testimony today over Senate Bill 5, which would end collective bargaining in the state of Ohio, erupted into one of the largest protests in Ohio's history. At stake for Republicans, their effort to overturn 30 years of collective bargaining laws. Protesters, union members, Democrats believe it is a bad idea.
We're talking about the government unions feeling one way and taxpayers feeling another. It's to restore some balance. We're not against people being able to talk about their pay.
In this exclusive interview Wednesday, Kasich pointed out he and lawmakers are facing a state budget deficit of $8 billion.
There being 17 yeas and 16 nays, the bill is passed and entitled.
It is absolutely deafening here as people have filled the rotunda. They are chanting, "Kill the bill."
It's been a year-long fight for public workers that has finally come to an end in their favor.
Very big show tonight.
We're exploring all sorts of great places.
2 high schools do battle tonight.
Everybody does their thing a little differently.
Proud of you for tuning in.
It's deja vu all over again.
It's making people interested.
60,000 people.
Right here on the Ohio News Network.
You keep working to become the best you can be.
This is the year.
Buckle in.
You never know who's going to do what.
16 years ago, the Ohio News Network made a commitment to cover news, weather, and sports like no other channel in a state that is the heart of the nation. Our dedicated staff has enjoyed bringing you closer to the stories that have changed all of our lives. ONN is and will always be Ohio's channel. Thank you for watching.